also a glass of beer left on a bar. It was meant to honor a fallen sailor, but it turned into this national tribute. I clicked on this picture last night on Facebook, more than 2 million likes. The waitress who helped this memorial go viral, she's going to join us live. You're watching Starting Point. Next on Starting Point, this is quite the story. Perhaps you've even liked this photo on Facebook. You don't want to miss this here on this Independence Day. Really, it's a toast to a fallen sailor that has become this salute to all of our nation's heroes on the web. We're going to talk to the waitress who posted this photo that absolutely went viral. You're watching Starting Point. It was a small yet very poignant memorial for a fallen American sailor, but it has grown into a national tribute to all troops. A Navy veteran walked into a Texas Bennigan's restaurant, left just this pint of beer for his friend killed in Afghanistan. A waitress posted a picture of the toast here on her Facebook page. It has since received more than 2 million likes. I was just checking last night. It's incredible. Along with this glass of beer, a handwritten note here reads, you can see it with me, in memory of Lieutenant J.G. Francis Toner, USN, killed in action 27 March 2009. Bake Province, Afghanistan. And then written in Latin is translated for you, not for self, but for country. And the words in all capital letters you see there, not forgotten. Hannah Hobbs is the waitress who took that picture and posted it to Facebook. She joins me now along with Bennigan CEO Paul Mangiamele. So welcome to both of you and good morning.
It's a pleasure to be here.
What a story. Hannah, just begin with me. So you're sitting at this, you're at work in your Texas Bennigan's and in walks a guy and says, I want a pint of beer, not for myself, but for my friend.
Well, he came in and he ordered 2 pints and he put one next to him and he drank one and then he drank another one and he ate. And then when he was ready to go, he asked me to order another beer and to give it to a stranger from Francis. So, yeah, it was pretty neat.
I understand that you got a little bit more of the backstory. You read the note and you didn't want to pour it out.
No. We closed at 10. I think I poured it out at about 11:30. So.
You took a picture of it.
But not before you took the picture and then posted it on Facebook.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about the reaction. Let me just read some of the reaction here. Very special photo, Hannah. I'm a Marine, so it holds a special place in my heart. Thank you for posting this about my late brother-in-law. He truly was one of the greatest people I ever met. My sister loves that you did this. He will never be forgotten. I mean, did you in a million years think that you would get the kind of reaction you got?
No. I thought I would get like 40 likes, I woke up the next day with like 20,000.
So have you learned the backstory of this person? I don't know if everyone knows, but he won the Silver Star because he was jogging and was fired at by some Afghan troops and ran into the line of fire and probably saved the lives of some of the other sailors.
Who left the pint of beer.
Yeah. He
Well, I mean, I was just saying that on a day like today, we forget we need to remember, because we so often forget the enormous sacrifice that all of our troops, especially in the last decade, over 2,000 U.S. troops deaths in Afghanistan. I think 4,400 in Iraq. I mean, enormous sacrifice. Each of these families, has paid the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom.
And Paul, what you're doing as our troops are returning now, you're the CEO of Bennigan's. You've heard this story. And so you're doing something from Bennigan's perspective to help returning vets. Do you want to tell us what you're doing?
I'd be so happy to. First of all, we're really proud of Hannah. I mean, what she did in a very selfless act, just like what Frankie Toner did, is it's just amazing. And the power of the internet is actually just mind-boggling with over a million
it's stunning,
likes.
isn't it?
It really is. And so with us, I mean, there's all these veterans coming back. I mean, there's over 20 million of them, and many coming from Afghanistan and the war. And we're thinking of, so how do we welcome them home and not just pay lip service to it? So what we're actually doing is, being as a member of the International Franchise Association, we are participating in Operation, of course, has to be an operation, so it's Operation Enduring Opportunity, which actually gives an opportunity for the returning vets that qualifies for some of the money that's available for the financing to open up a Bennigan's and actually, flex their entrepreneurial muscles and get into business and hopefully hire other vets as part of their team, like like we have with Hannah.
And is it true that you're waiving the franchise fee?
Waiving it
veterans?
entirely.
So
Absolutely.
they're not going to have the same barriers to entry that ordinary people have. This is
We want to get them
Operation
off to a
Enduring
great
Opportunity.
start. Absolutely.
I mean, it's so great what you're doing.
It really is.
And you know, it used to be, I mean, in our history, that when veterans came back after fighting for us, I mean, the whole country turned out. I mean, we would do anything for our veterans, right? Because they were paying this enormous sacrifice. And nowadays, you know, they're largely forgotten. So I think it's really fantastic.
I don't know if they're largely
Well, I mean,
it's
not on the same.
I think you're taking the Vietnam days. We've learned from our Vietnam days. I think,
know,
in
but
many ways,
it just seems to me we used to do anything we could for a country,
Like the
for them.
GI
But
Bill or
the
something,
GI
yeah.
Bill, and now we have issues relating to health care. We have issues. I mean, these veterans ought to get the best health care. They ought to get subsidized loans. They ought to get anything they
Absolutely,
need.
absolutely. And I just have to ask you, you know, so you put this picture up on Facebook. I know you've somehow, thanks to the power of the internet, been in touch with the family of this fallen sailor. What have they said to you?
Thank you. Thanks for telling everyone about him, you know. It's just,
It still gets you a little emotional, however many
yeah,
months later.
very emotional.
Why?
It's sad. I mean, they were a beautiful couple, you know.
He was married.
He was married. They were beautiful together. It was, I mean.
When you look at the backstory for Frankie, as he's known, and he and his wife taught Bible school, and this was a day before he was going to ship out.
Yeah, he was just about to come home.
Yeah, and he did a legendary act, and we're known, Bennigan's is known for legendary service and food and all that, so we wanted to do something legendary to honor the ultimate sacrifice that this guy made for his country.
To Frankie and the rest of the men and women, I think we all say thank you on this 4th of July.
Couldn't be a better day for it.
Be right back.